Hey everyone, it is Tuesday here at the New York Stock Exchange, and you know what? At least once a week we get some stories that we're just like, we have to read twice, like, wait. Is that true? And that's when we make it a Peter Tuchman interview, because this one really got my eye. Peter, yesterday I saw that WeWork is considering having John Legere as their CEO right before he's trying to make this deal with Sprint. What did you find out?
Okay, so I think we need to look at the WeWork story, which is really quite significant, and it could have really been the toppling of the Tower of Babel here in the markets altogether. Mm-hmm. So look, it was the big high-flying tech IPO, right? Yeah. I think so. Adam Neumann, Israeli guy, sort of a sordid past, a visionary, I guess, in the way, who has had, I would think, some bumps in the road along the way. He had a couple of startups that did not particularly work. Funny ones, actually, like baby clothing with knee pads in it or something. I was reading about it as it's a funny story. So if you read his history, it's actually fascinating. But he sort of had this persona of sort of arrogance, and he walked around. We saw him here a number of times. Sort of a bit untouchable. Sort of looked like an unmade bed. He maintained the fact that he was such a big deal guy that he could go around looking like he hadn't bathed for a while and whatnot, and that he was this high-flying, wild visionary. And it turned out that, yes, the idea was great. They expanded super fast, and they were one of the largest real estate holders in New York City. The idea is actually genius, to have a communal workspace where people can come in. They don't have to rent an office. I love the idea. I like communal. It's the kibbutz idea, sort of, in a way. He being an Israeli guy, maybe that's where the idea came from. All that being said, everything grew fast and furiously. There was a $47 billion valuation. Everybody was on board, small, wealthy investors, and some of the bigger guys, SoftBank being one of them. And it became the high flyer of the year until they filed for the IPO. Well, the process, which I know some things about but didn't really know, is that you've got to open your books then. So once you open your books and people see what's really going on, apparently some of his defects came out, apparently, whether it was tequila, wild living, or whatnot, and partying, and also the fact was that there was no basis for its valuation, that it was not a clear profitable model anywhere down the road, and it crumbled. And what happened was there were so many pieces to this puzzle, and this was a very high tower that they built. And when you've got real estate involved and you've got big investors involved, and suddenly a valuation of $47 billion is now actually can't even be sold on the roadshow for $6, $7, $8 billion. Well, that's the Tower of Babel falling down. Yes. Okay, so the hit the fan, yes. Okay, as it were. And we've had some headwinds in IPOs this year that were big revenue models, not profitable yet, and they've sort of tainted the waters here a little bit. Then once you see this completely arrogant young man come in, and suddenly when he opens his books, he's all smoke and mirrors, that really made everything crumble, and it fell fast and furious. Apparently it was a 6-week period from the flavor of the moment, the fruit of the month, to an absolute decimation.
You know what? You're right. That was the last domino of the class of new 2019 IPOs that had some little profit questioning, and like you said, it is almost like a financial colonoscopy when you want to go public, right? And that unfortunately went the opposite way. Now, why would SoftBank want someone like John Legere, who has been known to be just as pugnacious, lead the company?
Okay, so I found a couple of quotes which seem okay. So it's coming out that Legere would be the perfect replacement for Adam Neumann, and the reasons are he likes a crazy challenge, okay? And what's even more interesting is revivals and resuscitations. Okay. That's Legere's specialty. Obviously, this is a company that needs a revival and a resuscitation. We're talking CPR for a very high valuation company. Right. So all that being said, look, he's stepped out of the box. They were a company that was listed down here. He's a bit of a flamboyant guy. So he does have some of the crazy wild qualities. He's got the long hair. He's got the jeans. He's got that look that Adam Neumann had. But obviously, he's shown us that he is a transparent, solid man with integrity and character, right? He's built that company incredible. He came into a space that had a lot of hair on it, and he's made a name for himself. So T-Mobile is a high flyer. He's doing acquisitions. He's had a few. Sprint is the one now. But anyway, he's got those qualities of somebody who's ready to resuscitate this company. It seems like a great mix. All that being said, we were in the works to get the WeWork IPO, and we fought hard for it because we thought we saw what everyone else saw, which was a high flyer, a company that was really good. But the day this news came out that we had actually lost it to NASDAQ, and then we saw the bit of a show that was going on with this company, I really was one of the ones who said to a few people who looked all disappointed when we lost the deal, which we had been vying for a while, I think this was the greatest miss ever. Because at the end of the day, if we would have opened that thing here and all this transparency had not come out and these books had not been opened and we ended up having a disaster, we would have been the ones to blame. So at the end of the day, I'm glad we lost it. I'm actually glad that everything has been found out about it. And look, and I hope it turns out okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Peter. We'll see what John can do for the company if it may happen. Thanks for the juicy gossip. And, of course, we'll see you next week for the next hot story.
Giddy up. See you later. Thanks.